Hello, everyone. Today is May 23rd, 2025. And the first thing I would like to say is that I got a few new donations. So, very first, I always like to thank people for giving me the donations. I wrote their names down because I was like, I'm not going to remember all the names, especially a couple of these are ones that are hard for me to pronounce. I don't think they're American, maybe a couple of these. The first one is so, someone named Jeffrey Keith donated $100. So thank you very, very much to Jeffrey Keith for the $100 donation. The second one is George Snoddy or Snody, Snody. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. It's probably not Snoddy. It's probably Snody. George Snody donated $50. Thank you very much. And then this third one is even harder. This is the one I really don't think is. This one is not American. It's Jorn Verschoor. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's Verschhoor. Also, he donated $50. Thank you very much, Jorn. And then the last one is my Aunt Yvonne. She once again donated, and she donated $50 this time. She already donated once, I think it was earlier this week, which was $20. And then, then she donated $50 yesterday. So thank you to my Aunt Yvonne for the $70 total that you donated to me. So yes, thank you to all these people again. Jeffrey Keith, George Snoddy. Oh no, I keep saying Snoddy. I don't know how to pronounce it. Snody? George Snody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. George Snody. Jeffrey Keith, George Snody, John Verschoor, and then my Aunt Yvonne. So thank you guys all very much for your donations. Sorry for mispronouncing your names, especially the Snody. I'm assuming it's Snody. I'm sorry for mispronouncing it. And then the Jorn. Yeah, I'm curious where you're from. I'm almost positive that it's not the United States. That sounds, I don't know, like Norwegian or something like that. I'm not sure. Or maybe you could be American, but you just have a foreign name. I don't know. But anyhow, thank you guys all very much for your donations. Because of all of you that have donated, we're going to be able to pay rent, buy food, buy underwear for my son, diapers for my son, and just, essentials that we need, and, food, everything. And so, it's very, very much appreciated. So yes, so thank you very much. We're obviously very concerned whether, how we're going to pay for anything. My unemployment still has not come through. So a little bit more about that. So this video will be a mishmash of a few different things. I can't talk too much because my battery is kind of low. But the unemployment thing. So when I first applied for unemployment, they had me do this, what's it called? Like identity verification thing. So I had to take a picture of my driver's license and my social security and, send it to them to basically prove who I am. And not to mention, tell them where I work, the address of where I worked, and, the whole situation, we're currently laid off and all this kind of stuff. And so that's supposedly what's pending is the identity verification. But I've done my part. I've sent them all, all my information, and the best that I could gather, because I've looked it up and I'm like, hey, what's taking so long and whatever. And I've seen other people say that sometimes they're just so backed up that it just takes a long time. Sometimes weeks. And it's like, I don't have weeks. I was, thinking in my head, I was like, I don't have weeks. I have rent to pay, bills to pay, food, everything, And so it's like, this is ridiculous. But that's the holdup, supposedly, is the holdup. Again, now I'm down to 9% battery. So, yeah, I got it. If all of a sudden the video stops, that's why. It's not me. It's the battery. My phone was like, it's not enough battery, so I need to get to talking. So yeah, so that's the thing that's going on with the unemployment. Supposedly just doing their identity verification thing. I don't know. It's nonsense. The unemployment should have went through already, and it hasn't. So I have not got 1 cent, not $1, not 1 cent from unemployment yet. So that's the story on that. still, no work for my job. Like I said, this whole week they haven't had me schedule at all. On today's Friday, so on Sunday I'll go back over to my work, and they should have the schedule for all of next week, and I'll see if they gave me any days next week. But like I said, this downtime is going to continue all the way. So June 10th is the last. This is the irony. So June 10th is the last day of the shutdown. The official shutdown. So in theory, June 11th should be my first day. But the other dumb thing about my work is we have this A and B schedule thing. So we do 4 days on and 4 days off. And so Group A will do 4 days on, and then you'll take 4 days off. And then so I'm Group A. And so on my 4 days off, then Group B comes in and does theirs 4 days, right? So I just don't know if I've got so lost with the schedule. I don't know whose days on and whose days off it is anymore. So the 11th, I think the 11th is Group A schedule, I think. And so I would hope that June 11th is my first day back, that I could just get right back to it. But if it happens to land where it's June 11th is Group B's, days, and then I won't start until, they're done with their days. So yeah, so June 11th is supposed to be the official startup day. Assuming that that they have everything complete, that they fixed everything that they're going to fix, and that they do start up on June 11th. And like I said, the second thing is whose days is going to be Group A or Group B. Who's going to do their 4, like I said, because somebody gets their 4 days on first. So it's either going to be Group A or Group B. I don't know yet. But anyhow, so June 11th is supposed to be the first official day back, but we'll see. But I'm going to check on Sunday. I'll check, for the following week, for the Monday through Sunday for the following week. Who knows? Maybe they gave me a day or so. At this point, I'd rather just work than mess with this stupid unemployment. It's like, I just wish I could just get days I'd rather just work instead of, having to come on the internet and beg, or, having to deal with the stupid unemployment. I'm at the point, it's like, I just wish they would just give me days just to work. I'd rather just work. It's easier to work than to go through all the stress and, am I going to have money, and, and all this kind of stuff. At least when I work, at least I know that I got a paycheck coming, the following week. So that's what's going on with that. Another little bit of good news that has absolutely nothing to do with our money, our housing, or anything of the sort. So for those of you who, have watched my videos for a while, you know that I play chess as well, and I'm fairly decent at playing chess. And I actually hit a rating high, on chess.com, one of the websites, actually the only website I play on. So I reached ELO, that's the rating system, ELO rating of 2200. So I got a 2200 rating on chess.com. So for me, it's really big. It was pretty big. I've been playing chess for, I don't know, since I was 10 years old, something like that. So for 30 something years, whatever it is. And, kind of slowly, progressively getting better, and a 2200 rating. So put it this way, if I were able to achieve that 2200 rating in like official tournaments, chess tournaments, I would officially be considered a professional player, a titled player, we call it. There's different title rankings in chess, and the lowest starts at 2200. It'd be a candidate master. And so if I were able to achieve that same thing in a tournament, I would literally be a professional chess player, a titled chess player. And so, that would be the goal one day, but achieving, I'm down to like 5%. So I got to wrap this up. So, but, achieving that rating online is different than getting it in a tournament. Tournament is a whole different ball game. People are actually trying hard, and, people come to win. And, and so, again, achieving that rating online, it's still good. It wasn't not like it's easy. It's still, like I said, it still took me a really long time to achieve that. But yeah, getting that in a tournament, is even harder. It would be a whole, like, almost like a life dedication thing for me. I have to really focus and have, time. I would have to not be worrying about rent and all this kind of stuff. But anyhow, so I'm proud of myself for that. It's a little side note of happiness that, I achieved my highest rating ever in chess, 2200. For those of you who play chess, you know that 2200 ELO is very high, or, well, relatively pretty high. And so, I'm proud of myself for that. But I'm going to get going before this just cuts off because my battery is really low. So thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you for everyone who's been watching my videos, sharing the videos, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. Everything is always appreciated. You guys saved us. All of you saved us, making sure that, we're just able to continue to go on and have somewhere to live, food to eat, and like I said, diapers for my son to wear, and, and you allow me to continue to make videos. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.